You know what? I recently came across a viral tweet from a woman in Bangalore, and in her post she shared why she decided to move from Bangalore to San Francisco for her career. And her reasons really resonated with mine. And I think many Indian immigrants in the US will relate to them as well. Hi, I'm Saiman Shetty, your host and the founder of Smart Green Card program. And through our program, we have helped over 75 individuals achieve their EB1A green card in a year. If you are thinking about moving to the US or a better career opportunity, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to discuss pathways that go beyond the traditional H1B visa, which most people go after and crowd it like crazy. Now, before we dive into US visa options, let me tell you more about that viral tweet that I talked about. She highlighted 3 important points that convinced her to move to the US for work. Let me share those with you. Number 1, she pointed out that people in the US are genuinely excited and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. Well, even if you face setbacks, it's not really the end. You can keep going. This really resonated with me as well. Back in India, we often grow surrounded with a culture that emphasizes success and perfection, which is great. So one of the most valuable lessons I have learned in the US is that it is okay to fail as long as you're learning and you are bouncing back with enthusiasm. That's what matters. Number 2, she talks about how people in the US are already deeply focused on mastering their skills. Being in that environment naturally pushes you to do the same. And it's also inspiring atmosphere that encourages the growth of your overall personality than settling in for a certain level of achievement that you have. Number 3, she mentioned that women's safety in the US is much better than in India. The recent incident in Kolkata only highlights the ongoing concerns about women's safety in general. I completely agree with her on this point, although there are many statistics that go city by city, and if you compare cities against cities, there are many cities in the US that are unsafe and cities in India that are more safer than cities in the US as well. So I think it needs a little more nuanced breakdown of exactly like what city are we talking about, what kind of people are we talking about as well. But on balance, yes, if you look at most places that Indians migrate to in the US, they are probably relatively more safer than most cities in India where most of our population exists. I also discovered that she's moving to the US through the O1 visa. And this surprised me because in India, we mostly hear about the H1B and the L1, but not the O1 visa really. So if you're dreaming of moving to the US for your career, it's important to understand the realities of US visas. Let's say you're applying for jobs in the US and you receive 2 offers with H1B visa sponsorship. Even then, there's no guarantee that you'll secure a spot in the American workforce. Only 85,000 H1B visas are issued every single year, and that competition is getting intense and intense as we've seen over the past several years. So what's more is the selection process is a lottery. It's not based on merit. It's a random lottery that you get drawn out of. It's kind of unfair borderline at that point. It's like we're trying to get a ticket to see your favorite actor's movie on the first day, only to find out that they are all sold out, even though you are their biggest fan. And then at the last minute, a friend offers you their ticket. And if you are that lucky, then you might secure an H1B visa. Another option is the L1 visa. And if you are an employee with special skills, you might have that chance to work on site at a US branch of your company, and they will probably sponsor your L1 visa. However, many people miss this opportunity because of office politics, or most people don't even have that opportunity of working at a company which has multiple branches across the world. But remember, the US is known as the land of opportunities. And this idea has stuck with me since my student days in the US. And I would say on balance, it is true. So what are your options if you want to move to the US? And that's where the talent visa pathways come in, which is the O1A and the EB1A visas. Let's start with the O1A visa first. The O1A visa is a non-immigrant visa typically granted for 3 years to stay in the US and work in the US as well. And it can be renewed indefinitely as long as you meet the requirements. And the best part though is, unlike the H1B visa, the O1A visa doesn't really have an annual cap, and the selection process is purely merit-based without any lottery. Now, the EB1A green card. The EB1A green card is an immigrant visa that actually offers a direct path to US permanent residence. Unlike the H1B visa, the EB1A doesn't really require employer sponsorship. You can file your own EB1A petition with USCIS, and that way you can be in control of the entire process yourself, and you don't need to, be dependent on an employer. So how do you really qualify for these talent visas? To meet the O1A visa eligibility, you need to meet at least 3 out of the 8 O1A criteria that are set up by USCIS. So similarly, to satisfy these EB1A green card eligibility as well, you need to meet 3 out of the 10 EB1A criteria that are also set up by USCIS. In simple terms, to qualify for these visas, you need to prove that you have extraordinary talent or you are using some sort of an extraordinary ability in the narrow field of work that you are doing by meeting specific criteria. And if you are curious about what these 10 EB1A criteria are, there are many of those. You can take a look at the website of USCIS. It's openly available there, but generally they include awards, membership in prestigious institutions or professional organizations, playing a critical role in an organization, making original contributions, earning a high salary, publishing scholarly articles, receiving some media coverage, judging the work of others. Also, if you can demonstrate commercial success and exhibitions, stuff like that. If you want a detailed guide, by the way, on how to meet this EB1A green card criteria, check out our blog on the Smart Green Card Program's website, or just write to our team and we'll send you a link to get that guide. Now, here's the good news though. The O1A visa shares similar criteria with the EB1A. So start by preparing for the EB1A visa, and over time, your profile will naturally align with the criteria for the O1A visa as well. Start by getting the O1A visa as it processes faster, and if you don't have the H1B, this is a great dual intent status to be on. And once you have that, you can apply for the EB1A green card as well. And if you have heard about the decades-long wait for green card backlogs, don't really worry. The EB1A green card has a wait time of just 2 years for Indians. So, are you ready to achieve US permanent residency faster through the EB1A green card path? Great! The Smart Green Card program is here to help you navigate the EB1A criteria and make your American dream a reality. So, if you want to learn more about our VIP plan and how we help you achieve the EB1A green card, definitely visit the Smart Green Card website by clicking the link in the description. Join us in this journey as we share daily insights to your EB1A process. So subscribe to our channel if you want to never miss a video to help guide you step by step towards your EB1A goals. We publish that every single day. And thank you for watching this video. Until next time, this is Saiman Shetty signing off. Peace.